everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Karen. We are in my studio and I am going to be showing you how to create the perfect caulking line. This is an essential skill that you should learn when you're getting ready to prep your trim. So I am a professional painter and I have been for 25 years. So any of the products, tools, tips, or techniques that you hear me mention or I give you information on, those are things that I use in my job every single day. So let's get started. So what are the things you're going to need to create a perfect caulking line? Well, I don't want to insult anybody's intelligence, but you're going to need a caulking gun. This is an all-pro plastic dripless caulking gun. The plastic is great because it does not make any marks on the wall or the trim when you're using it like a metal caulking gun can. The dripless part of it is when you let go of the trigger, the rod will not continue to push the caulking out of the tube. That'll make it easier for you to keep everything neat. If the caulking continues to come out of the tube, you're going to have to stop and clean up. And not only that, you're wasting product. This caulking gun has a probe in it that slides right down to the side here when you're not using it. It can be used for starting the tip of your caulking after it's been cut, or to clean out dried caulking from a tube that you maybe have had sitting for a couple of days. It has a hole in the back right here that you use, that when you pull the trigger, it has a blade that comes and it cuts the tip of your caulking. The next thing that I use for professional results is this Alex Flex caulking. This is a quick dry caulking, 60-year, paintable in 30 minutes. That is all great, but one of the reasons why I love to use it is because it just marries really well with the caulking gun. They perform really well together. Things go smooth. The finish comes out perfect. So it's easy to work into the corners. It's easy to work with your finger or to tool out with your 5. The next thing you're going to need is a damp rag, not soaking wet, just damp. And of course, your 5-in-1 tool, the tool that every painter should not have more than a foot away from them at all times. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to get this caulking ready to go into the tube. So where I've shown you this hole is in the back. We're going to be cutting the tip off. What we're going to want to do is we're going to want to insert it into the hole. We're only going to want to cut about 1/8 of an inch of the tip off. So we're going to put it in and we're going to cut it at a 45-degree angle, about 1/8 of an inch, just like this. Then you're going to have a 45-degree angle and you're going to have an opening of about 1/16 of an inch. And that is really good because that's where you want to start with your caulking. If you feel you have bigger seams, you can cut it a little bit bigger, but for the most part, this is where you want to be. So you're going to pull back on the rod. You're going to place your tube of caulking into the barrel. You're going to rest it in. You're going to push up the rod just as far as it will go. Then you're going to pump the trigger until you see the caulking come out of the top of the gun. And now you're ready to start. So behind me, I have a makeshift kind of trim board with sheetrock that I made for the purposes of this demonstration. And I'm going to show you how to evenly glide along and get into all the corners and how to tool out any of the excess with your 5 and your rag. So you're going to start with your 45-degree angle facing right into the corner. Now you're going to use an even amount of pressure as you disperse the caulking out, and as you put that pressure on, you're going to glide the caulking gun along very evenly and very steady from one point to the next. Then you're going to stop. You're going to take your finger, you're going to wipe back, and you're going to get rid of any of the excess caulking. You're going to wipe that on your finger. You may have to do it a couple of times. And now your top is done. You're going to go over to the side, same 45-degree angle in, a little bit of pressure on the trigger. You're going to come down, hit that bead of caulking right along where your trim is. You're going to stop. You're going to wipe it with your finger. Just like that, nice and smooth. You're going to get out anything that's excess with your rag. You want anything, you don't want any lines coming out that don't make any sense along the side of your trim. So then you're going to come down on the other side, just like this, right along the top of the trim. Push it right into that seam with your finger. Tool out anything that's not in your clean corner, just like that. You're going to hit inside this seam right here. So this is a pretty big seam, so I'm going to press a little bit harder, go a little bit slower, just down just like this. And I'm going to put my finger and I'm going to rub it in there so it's not really going, it's a pretty deep seam. So I'm going to fold my rag and just push it right into that spot. Pull it down, I don't see any excess. I'm going to tool out the corner. I'm going to wrap the pointed end around my rag just like this, and I'm going to get right into that corner. I'm going to hit across the top like this, right at that seam. Get that nice and filled in. Wipe away any excess. Now caulking is something you want to do before you start painting. We have one more seam over here, so we're just going to hit down like this. And we're going to just wipe it, push it in with our finger, and wipe away the excess. Now, this caulking is a 30-minute dry, so we're all done. So you're going to start in one spot of your room, usually top to bottom, inside to out, inside your windows, inside your casings to the outside. You're going to hit everything where you see an open seam. Now, see how easy that was? Easy. You can master that with no trouble at all. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it informative. So I thank you all for being here, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'm always looking for questions and comments. So take care until next time. Thank you. Bye.